Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is James Ramos from At the Quarter Pole. And here's my 2026 Wood Memorial and Bluegrass Stakes with the Bluegrass Stakes, ladies and gentlemen. And my pick will be, as for mentioned in my last video 2 days ago, will be Paladin. Paladin is the number one rated 3-year-old right now in the United States, and I believe he'll win this race because of his running style coming right off the pace. He doesn't need to lead and doesn't need to come out too far back. So that's why he's my number one pick. I'm going to use him in a trifectas first and second behind the Puma if he skips the Florida Derby. If he skips the Florida Derby, he's definitely the second best horse in that race. Use him second and also third in the trifecta. I'm using also in the second spot. Reagan's Honor being out of Honor AP, who's a fourth generation out of AP Indy, who won the Breeders' Cup at 1992 at a mile and one quarter. The third horse in the third spot, I'm going to use also Further Ado. He's going to be much tighter, will show speed, but is it going to be just a little bit too long in a mile and 1/8? Remember, this was Spendthrift's second best horse behind Ted Noffey. He did okay in the Tampa Bay Derby. He got swallowed by the Puma in the same race, but he looked like it was a horse that needed a race, and he got that race. It was a good race moving forward, but he's going to be used up front. So that is my pick for the Bluegrass Stakes, and it was a right move for Paladin. If I looked at how that race shaped up, that Chad Brown moved Paladin from the fairgrounds to Lexington, Kentucky, and he's only a van ride away from Churchill Downs for the first Saturday of May. So that makes sense, and that a taxiing ride. So that is my pick for the Bluegrass Stakes. That trifecta. If the Puma runs in the Florida Derby, then it's going to be Paladin first and second over Further Ado and Reagan's Honor for the trifecta. Now onward to the Wood Memorial. Now, Wood Memorial scheduled to run this race will be Bravazzo, so it looks like he's going to be also out of the Florida Derby. The ground might be suited better for this horse. I liked him from the last race at Fountain of Youth. He came out being well back to fifth, being about a good 8 lengths. But look at the 8 lengths. The top two horses last two was Commandment and also Chief Wallaby, who were exceptional that day. They were exceptionally strong. So I believe that Bravazzo with lesser company in Wood Memorial should run first or second. I like him and Butane. It's amazing. This is the first Bob Baffert horse I picked in the going into the pre-races for the Kentucky Derby, and I believe that he had an excuse in the last race running in the Virginia Derby. He got bottled in the inside coming out of the one post. He was bottled up almost 4 furlongs. The rider took him out too late. He ran a fourth behind incredible grittiness, but he should improve. Now, he might be a slight overlay, and the way I think he's going to run is going to be taken to the front end, a la Rodriguez last year's Wood Memorial winner. So those two are like an exacta box. You should get at least decent odds on both horses. They're both going to be popular bets by figuring 5-2, maybe 4-1 in the exacta box, and it should get you for $2 exact around 25-30. That's the only two horses I've seen in this race. As stated, both horses are in desperate need to get points in this race, so they're both looking for the win. That's why the exacta box. Bravazzo needs a win, and also Butane needs to win. And that's what I have it for the Wood Memorial and the Bluegrass Stakes. Ladies and gentlemen, this is James Ramos from At the Quarter Pole. We're winning in history. Run neck and neck. Have a good evening, ladies and gentlemen.